Alright guys, I'm here to give you your Raw review. Um, this Raw happened on, I accidentally put May 14th, 2014, but it's actually April 14th, 2014. And this was in memory of the Ultimate Warrior. Now, I usually cover the pre-show first, but I'm going to cover like the stuff with the Ultimate Warrior first. Um, for the panel, though, we got Josh Matthews, Booker T, and the Sergeant Slaughter, who's the special guest, and Alex Riley. And they kind of covered Ultimate Warrior's death a little bit, so I'm glad that they did that. It was like before, like the panel stuff even went off. They even like introduced the panel. So I'm gonna just kind of cover the Ultimate Warrior stuff now. Nothing even happened really in the pre-show, but I'll cover that. But I'm gonna cover the Ultimate Warrior stuff now. So the WWE pays tribute to the Ultimate Warrior one final time. Very good stuff. Very emotional stuff, I should say. What ends up happening is Ultimate Warrior ends up they just play this video for Ultimate Warrior about everything he's ever done in his career, beating Hulk Hogan for the World Wrestling Federation Championship because it was the WWF back then. Being the Intercontinental Champion, just everything. And we had guys like Hulk Hogan, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon talk about him, and they played this song called Just Give Me One More Time" or something. I thought it was very good. It showed everything. It showed him back when he was young. I think there were I heard that there were two guys that were the Ultimate Warrior. Because seeing that video package, it definitely did not look like the same guy. That we saw in the Hall of Fame. I think the guy that we saw at the Hall of Fame finished off as the Ultimate Warrior. But I'm not exactly too sure about that. So it showed that, and then they did the 10 silent moment of silence then when they would play the 10 bells. And all the guys on the roster were out there. Vince McMahon was out there. He didn't really do anything, but he was still out there. Very good stuff. It was cool to see everyone come together for the Ultimate Warrior's death, and then they played his music afterwards. I thought this was very emotional and good stuff, and I'm gonna miss the Ultimate Warrior. I know I always said I hated this guy, but it's kind of sad because he finally made peace with the WWE and he died, and I'm glad though that everyone got to get exposure to the Ultimate Warrior, like the kids and stuff. So I'm glad the new age fans got to get exposure to the Ultimate Warrior. And they played they showed some clips of his old matches when he beat Honky Tonk Man at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship, when he did beat Hulk Hogan for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, when he beat Rick Rude and, let's just say ravishing Rick Rude in a steel cage match to retain his World Wrestling Federation Championship. When they showed another video package for him, and then they showed like his last appearance ever in the company, which was last week. And they're going to do some more appearances. He's going to appear on Raw. No, I mean, not appearances. They're going to do some more tributes tonight, which I probably will miss it because I'm going to be doing this video. But they're going to show his greatest matches, which I will cover. They're going to tomorrow. They're going to show his match with Hulk Hogan, which is when he won the World Wrestling Federation Championship. They're gonna show something every week. I don't remember what they're gonna show every day, but they're gonna show us like some of his greatest matches. So I think that's very good stuff. We get this is like an Ultimate Warrior week, as you could say. So I'm gonna cover the panel. Well, the pre-show, like I said, I always said who the panel was. We got Paige interview. She talked about how she's the Divas champion now. I don't really remember what she said. Big E interview because we find out there's gonna be a tournament, just find out his next opponent for the Intercontinental Championship, which I'm very happy with. I'm glad they're finally doing something with the mid-card at least for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm happy that they're doing the tournament. This is going to maybe bring some prestige back into the Intercontinental Championship. And the superstars that were in it, amazing. So he talks about how he doesn't care who he faces, and he will face anyone that comes in his way. And he will walk out still Intercontinental Champion. So after the tribute, so then we got to the actual show. We got JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the Kid Lawler on commentary, and Jerry the Kid Lawler actually was kind of like the spokesperson throughout the Ultimate Warrior tribute, I should mention. And we got the first match. We got Alberto Del Rio versus Rob Van Dam in an Intercontinental Championship first round tournament match. Very good match. I thought this was really well done. OVD went for a moonsault. Del Rio got the knees up and got a backstab on him. Very well done match. Eventually, OVD ends up winning, though, with the 5-star frog splash, and he advances, and he will face the winner of Cesaro versus Mark Henry. So I thought this was a very well done match. So then the Authority and Randy Orton and Batista backstage. We hear them talking about something, but we don't know what it is yet. So then WWE Toys R Us gift cards. I kind of want to talk about this. Apparently, if you take a selfie with your wrestling action figure, you get a you get like a free $100, thousands I think it was, on a Toys R Us gift card. So you see Sheamus and Big E trying to get trying to get a picture with themselves using their own dolls, and then like the mother's like, I don't think you're allowed to use yourself, so then they switch to each other's dolls. I thought this was kind of stupid. I'm not really going to participate in this. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe who will. By the way, I got a haircut, and I went to McDonald's today. So then the Authority, Randy Orton and Batista are backstage again. Triple H is saying that they should reform them. They should all work together to take out the Shield. And Batista and Randy Orton are saying, no, I just want to be champ. Well, Batista says, no, I just want to be champ. And Randy was like, for once, I actually agree with Batista on this one. So they all walk away, and Triple H is like, ooh, we're screwed. So then we get the next match. It's Ryback and Curtis Axel versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Very decent tag team match. I like what they're doing. I guess kind of what they're doing with the tag team division. Cody Rhodes goes for the beautiful disaster kick, but Ryback counters into a clothesline in midair. He kind of catches him and then covers Cody Rhodes for the win. And Ryback and Curtis Axel win. So I see them being the next challengers to face the Usos for the tag team championships, which is Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and losing obviously. So we got Paige versus Alicia Fox. Decent match. I thought it was okay. It could have been a little bit better, but I thought it was a decent match. Paige gets Alicia Fox into the submission hold that she used on Emma on NXT Arrival, and she ends up tapping out for the win, so she has another finisher. She has a submission and the Paige Turner, which is very well done. I've seen them both. We don't really see any AJ Lee, though. I think this could lose some AJ Lee talk, but I guess they're going to maybe utilize it in the future, because I think that if AJ Lee doesn't get a rematch, it will kind of be bullshit. Then we get the Usos, which I already said who they were, versus Randy Orton and Batista. The Usos are doing good. They're taking out Batista and Randy Orton, then they're going to dominate. And Randy Orton takes one of the Usos and starts beating the crap out of him ringside. And then the Shield come out, being Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and beat up Randy Orton. Throw him into the barricade. And then okay, I had to move the video in here, but I'm back. So now we get so I was talking about how this Shield were attacking Randy Orton and Batista. They threw Randy Orton into the barricade, and then they went and attacked Batista, and they gave him the Superman punch. I thought it was and then they escaped. I thought this was fine. I wasn't really expecting the Shield to come out. I was expecting Triple H to pull something out later on in the show, but I'm going to tell you actually what he does pull out later on in the show. Very good stuff that he does. Well, actually, it was kind of mean stuff that Triple H did, because, you know, he just thinks he has all this power when he doesn't. And then Batista and Randy Orton backstage, and they went up to Triple H, and he says, "Told you." I think Stephanie McMahon was there too. And then we get Cesaro with Paul Heyman versus Mark Henry in a Intercontinental Championship first round tournament match. Before the match starts, Paul Heyman comes out and brags about how Brock Lesnar broke the streak of The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Did I mention that he bragged? He just bragged how he broke the streak. Brock Lesnar broke the streak. Brock Lesnar broke the streak. Did I mention Brock Lesnar broke the streak? Did I? I think I did. But we got the match, and it was very well done. It accomplished what it needed to. What isn't the best match ever? Cesaro did a springboard uppercut, and then he did a uppercut to the back of the head of Mark Henry, and then he hit a neutralizer on Mark Henry for the win. So he's going to be facing Rob Van Dam in the semifinals of the tournament, which should be a very good match. One more thing though I want to mention about this about Cesaro is now he doesn't have any music, which I think is kind of cool because it's kind of weird that he doesn't have music. But I remember when R-Truth first turned heel, and he didn't have music, so maybe they're gonna have him not have music for a little bit, and then they'll eventually start having music. Next match, or it's like the Authority and Brad Matt, which is Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and Brad Maddox are backstage, and he's the RGM, but he's pretty much the messenger at this point. He wants the Authority wants him to go tell the Shield that they have a match in the main event, and Brad Maddox says, "Do you want me to tell you who their opponents are?" And the Authority's like, "No." So we're gonna find out what they do with this later. We get Alexander Rusev with Lana versus Xavier Woods with R-Truth. They've had matches on NXT in the past, decent matches, but this was just a 30-second squash. Alexander Rusev makes Xavier Woods tap out to the camel clutch. They call it the accolade, but I call it the camel clutch because that's what it is. So then he's not releasing the hold, so then R-Truth comes up and tries to save him. But it kind of fails because at first Lana holds him back, tells him not to attack him, then she summons him, and he gives him a super kick, I think. A very well done thing. They're using Rusev so far, they're not having him have long matches yet. I think next week he's now going to destroy R-Truth now, again. Then we got Jack Swagger with Zeb Coulter versus Sheamus in an Intercontinental Championship first round tournament match. Very well done match. Sheamus went to jump on Jack Swagger, and he gave him like an amateur background move that he usually does on the floor, which was sick. And then Sheamus starts doing his comeback. He beats Jack Swagger with the drum. Sheamus goes for the slingshot shoulder block, but then Jack Swagger catches him into an ankle lock, which Sheamus ends up countering. And then Jack Swagger goes to work on Sheamus' leg. He attacks it in the barricade, stomps on it, throws him into the steps, all this stuff, but then Sheamus still wins with the bull kick, but I thought this was a very well done match. Good stuff. Then we got Damien Sandow versus Big Show. Match never started. Damien Sandow's talking about how he's all that. He's like the future of the WWE. He's a past Money in the Bank winner. Almost beat John Cena for the World Championship. And after all this talk about how he's going to put himself over, Big Show just knocks him out. I think this was just to make Damien Sandow look weak. So then the Wyatt family's backstage, and then they're like, "We're coming." So then the Wyatt family come out, which is Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. They cut a promo how Bray Wyatt's this close to having John Cena to one more push, and John Cena will finally release out this inner monster in him. And then John Cena comes out, and he says he's all about having fun right now, and he says he wants them to start having fun. Because I bet if Eric Rowan would have fun, he'd be like the party animal. If Luke Harper had fun, forget what he said about Luke Harper, but if Bray Wyatt had fun, he would get all the ladies all the time. He'd be like the ladies' man. And then they show like these pictures of what Sister Abigail is, and it's Bray Wyatt edited like some girl in the past, what the mother looks like, and it's Luke Harper edited as like a fat mom or like a pregnant mom, and then the baby was as Eric Rowan edited into like a baby picture. So that was very weird stuff. And then John Cena gets serious. And Bray Wyatt actually mentioned something point that when something gets too hard, when an opponent comes too hard, John Cena always cracks jokes, which I thought was a very interesting point that Bray Wyatt made. And then John Cena says that he can't really, he's nothing without his family. He needs the family for everything, so he wants him to have the family by himself. So he challenges Bray Wyatt to a steel cage match, and I think Bray Wyatt accepted because he said some weird things. So if the match is official, it's going to be John Cena versus Bray Wyatt inside of a steel cage, which we know that the Wyatt family will still try to get involved. Okay, next then. We get Santino Morella and Emma versus Fandango and Layla. Didn't watch this match, didn't care. Fandango and Layla, Emma. No, Fandango and Layla won is all I know. And then we got Stephanie McMahon and Kane backstage. He's kind of giving Stephanie McMahon's kind of giving Kane an evaluation. How he's not the monster anymore. He's just a corporate man. He's gone soft. How he's every time he's tried to take out Daniel Bryan, who wasn't on the show because he was on his honeymoon with Brie Bella. He's failed. So he wants the monster Kane to come back. He wants the Kane to come back that would make little kids cry and it would hurt anybody no matter who it was. So then Kane opens up the box with a mask in it and takes out his mask. And he's like, I want to eviscerate Daniel Bryan and take him to the depths of hell. So I think we're finally going to get the monster Kane back, not this corporate Kane, which is very good stuff. And they're probably going to have Kane feud with Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then we got Dolph Ziggler versus Bad News Barrett in an Intercontinental Championship first round tournament match, the final one of the night. Very well done match. Dolph Ziggler went to one into Bad News Barrett, and Bad News Barrett threw him up over his head, and he went face first into the post, which was sick, and then he dominated him for a while. And then Bad News Barrett, and then Ziggler made his comeback, obviously, and then Bad News Barrett was able to hit the wasteland on Dolph, but he kicked out. Then he went to do a move to him, but Ziggler countered to the famouser, which Bad News Barrett kicked out of. Went for a superplex, Bad News Barrett got out of it, went for an elbow, countered, and then Ziggler rolled him up, but Bad News Barrett kicked out of it. Ziggler went for the zigzag, he held on to the ropes, and then he went for his jumping DDT. Bad News Barrett countered it, and he hit him with the bullhammer elbow for the win. And so now it's going to be Sheamus versus Bad News Barrett in the semifinals for the Intercontinental Championship, which is, to qualify to the finals to face Big E for the Intercontinental Championship, which whoever wins the finals will face Big E at Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental Championship. So then, which Big E watched every match too. And Bad News Barrett says, I got some bad news because he says he is going to be the next Intercontinental Champion. So I can see what I think is going to happen is Sheamus is going to end up beating Bad News Barrett, and Cesaro will beat RVD, and then it would lead down to Sheamus versus Cesaro, and Cesaro will somehow find a way to beat Sheamus, which should be good stuff. And then Cesaro will go on to win the Intercontinental Championship. The next match, it shows a Kane video package, how it's this Monster's back, so I wanted to mention that, because now they're going to finally bring back the Monster. Now we got the Shields match. They end up facing Alberto Del Rio, Jack Swagger, Fandango, 3MB, which is Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre, Titus O'Neil, Curtis Axel, Ryback, Alexander Rusev, which is a big deal for him. He got the main event Raw. Only the second week coming into the main roster, and Bad News Barrett. The Shield did decent, actually. They didn't do that bad. Eventually, all the superstars start attacking Dean Ambrose, I think. No, I think it was it was Seth Rollins. They all just start attacking Seth Rollins. So then Roman Reigns Ryback actually went to attack Seth Rollins, but Roman Reigns speared him, so then they all start attacking the Shield. So the referee loses control and stops the match. I think and then Ambrose flies into the superstars, and so does Rollins. So then they hold the ground. They should have grabbed chairs. And then all the superstars come in and beat the crap out of all of the Shield. And then Del Rio kicks. The only thing I can really remember is Del Rio kicking Dean Ambrose in the head. So then Evolution's music goes off, like the actual Evolution. You see Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista come out. I wonder if they're going to add Ric Flair to this equation, or if they're just going to leave Ric Flair out of this equation. I don't know. They come out, though, and just stop hitting all their finishes. Randy Orton hits an RKO on Roman Reigns. Batista hits the Batista bomb on him. Then it leads to the same fate for Ambrose and Rollins. And then Roman Reigns is trying to get up, and Triple H is like, come on. Well, how much fight you got left? Come on. And then he ends up pedigreeing Roman Reigns, and he says, believe that. And then that's how the show ended. So I thought it was a well done ending. I think we're gonna get Evolution versus the Shield, with the Evolution putting over the Shield, which is what should happen. So then we got the backstage pass. They just talk about what just happened, and Big E gets on the panel and talks about his possible Intercontinental Championship opponents. And that was really it. Same people on the panel. So as for Raw, I thought it was a very well done show. We got to see a tribute to the Ultimate Warrior. The Intercontinental, they're doing something with the Intercontinental Championship by having it in a tournament, and they had good matches. Kane's finally going to become a monster, and then they did stuff with the Shield and Evolution, which is very good stuff. And next week, Brian will be on the show. So that's pretty much it, guys, for my video. You can click on all the stuff down below. I'm really, really tired, so I don't really want to say it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.